Back in the book segment tonight, the big disability con. Last Sunday, 60 Minutes reported on it, but we have been telling you about this situation for years. 20 years ago, in June 1992, there were 3,300,000 Americans receiving federal disability payments. Today, 20 years later, that number is a record 8,733,000 workers on disability. So why has the disability rate increased more than 100%? I'll tell you why. It's a con. It's easy to put in a bogus disability claim. Yesterday, a Senate subcommittee headed by Tom Coburn of Oklahoma released a report that says many disability claims are fabricated. The question tonight is, why is this happening? Joining us from Austin, Texas, Fox News analyst Karl Rove. So why, Mr. Rove?
Because people can do it. I mean, Senator Coburn's investigation, they randomly chose 300 applications that had been approved and found evidence in a quarter of them that there was fraud. I mean, the case that Coburn put the spotlight on involved a administrative law judge who's the person who has to grant these applications, who was in bed with an attorney who had a mill that literally prepared these applications, bought off doctors, 5 doctors, in order to give the diagnosis, and then they coordinated their schedules, and this administrative law judge just rubber stamped these applications.
Every one of them, 100% according to 60 Minutes. This was in West Virginia.
Yeah.
There's
well,
the attorney.
Let's be fair to him. Out of nearly 1,400, he did disallow 4. Now this is probably what brought him to the attention of the inspectors at the Social Security Administration, because it was such an anomaly. But the lawyer got paid nearly $5 million. The judge may have gotten paid $2 million. They put a lot of money into the pockets of
How did the judge get
doctors.
paid, though? The judge not say. How does he get paid?
Sure, he gets paid. He just got paid. Well, he got cash from. We'll find out more in the trial, but he apparently got paid cash by the lawyer at the end of this deal when they knew they were under investigation. We're getting bribed. And look, this is not the only instance. For example, in August, 75 people were indicted in Puerto Rico. 1 former Social Security Administration employee, 3 doctors, and 71 claimants. The former Social Security employee got paid up to $6,000 to fill out to get you the bonus application. The doctors got paid $500 each in order to give you the phony diagnosis. Most of them said they were mood disorders, and these people got all accepted.
All right, now how did it get so out of control? Here on Long Island, where I live, we have the Long Island Railroad. It's like 70. I mean, it was a huge scandal, billions of dollars involved. Yeah. Almost every single person who worked for the railroad was out on disability. How did it get so far out of control?
Well, I listened to what you and Sassel said earlier. Look, private insurance companies have a financial necessity of making certain they stop fraud. There are no fraud protections in Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. None. Right. In fact, there's an estimate that in Medicare expenditures alone, the FBI is responsible for Medicare fraud. They estimate 15% of the cost of Medicare is involved in fraud. We spent $135 billion in 2012 on this disability program, and if Coburn is right that a quarter of that is fraud, we're talking about spending $40 billion in fraudulent payments. And it's worth it to the government to put some money into fraud. Look at this pattern, Bill. This ought to unnerve you. From 2001 to 2008 versus 2009 to 2012, the number of applications for the Social Security Administration disability program are up only 6%. The approvals are up 45%. Now, part of this is because we do have an aging population, and we also have a lot of women who work in the workforce who are aging, and so there are more people who actually have a legitimate claim. But even the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco did a study and said you can't explain at least half of this by those kind of characteristics.
Do you believe that it has to do with the liberal administration basically creating and saying it's okay to be on the dole? And, because they have created an entitlement state here.
Well, look,
at least
Bill,
the mentality.
Yeah, maybe you missed it, but in June there was a congressional hearing in the House where these administrative law judges, there are about 1,400 of them at Social Security, several of them testified, past and current judges, and said, we feel the pressure is on for us to erase the backlog in these applications by rubber stamping them and moving them forward. So there's a sense in there that there is a problem because of this backlog. And look, Bill, there's one other fundamental problem with this. This program was designed in 1973. And at that time, if you had a disability, in all likelihood, you wouldn't have the advantage that people have today of both physical therapy and medical devices to help you get back. So it's a lifetime benefit. You get up to $300,000 a year. And shouldn't we redo the program and say, we're going to give you
Something's
a temporary benefit if you really need it, and retrain you for a job so you can go back and have the dignity of work?
Okay, Mr. Roby. And by the way, you and I will be attacked as being anti-sick people tomorrow. I mean, I know. That's
I'm happy to be in the foxhole with you, Bill. Don't worry about it.